Have you ever gone to a great conference and you're excited to implement all the ideas, only 6 months later to find out you haven't implemented one? I know that feeling because I've been there before. I would go to a conference and have the energy of being around all these great leaders and learning all these great ideas, and I'd have the best of intentions. But 6 months later, I didn't have to change one thing in my life, and the only thing changed was I was out a couple $1,000s for that conference. That's why we've designed a Teach Passion Summit to help you to avoid this problem. And we've done this through accountability. So we don't just leave you at the end of Teach Passion Summit. We partner together with you and journey over the next year. And we do that through what we call our barrels of oil. And our first barrel of oil is our huddles. We get together with you monthly in accountability to check in on you. And then 6 months later, we get together for a mini conference called the Teach Passion Halftime. Let's talk to you about why we do this, and let's talk about what a barrel of oil is. Have you ever tried crossing the desert? It's pretty challenging. One of the first problems is the blaring sun. It gets really hot. And you don't have access to water, so you gotta carry water on your back, which is heavy, and you gotta carry enough. And then the sand is just constantly blowing in your face. The world's largest desert, the Sahara, has extreme challenges. In fact, it used to be 3,000 people on average died crossing it per year. And the reason why it's even more challenging is because the shape of the sand shifts. Because it's such a large desert, and you look at the horizon, and you look really far away, and you look at that, I'm going towards this, then all of a sudden, the sand shifts, and you get lost. It's a lot like life. Our goals and our priorities are gonna shift and change. We're gonna have challenges. Maybe you lose a job. A challenge for a short time period could be having a new child and trying to evolve around that. Sometimes we have a paradigm shift, and those mountains, just like the Sahara, completely change. Maybe somebody close to you died. Maybe a close friend contracted cancer, and it totally changes your paradigm. Maybe you're starting a new business. So how do you cross the Sahara? Well, the French had a unique solution for this. And what they did was they took barrels of oil. Oil was plentiful close to the Sahara. And they would take these barrels of oil and they would light them on fire. And the reason why they would do this is that barrel of oil would be out there and they would space them 5 kilometers apart. And the reason why they did 5 kilometers apart is with the curve of the earth, you could always be assured that at least one barrel was in front of you and at least one barrel was behind you. And that's where the phrase one barrel at a time comes from. And we believe at the Teach Passion Summit that that's what it's like. You're on this journey and you leave the Teach Passion Summit. And then what we do is a month later, we have a Teach Passion Huddle call and we check in on you. Where are you at? Did you get to that barrel of oil? Do we need to recalibrate? Do we need to change the barrel of oil? And we keep doing this and we go from one call to the next call to our halftime, which is 6 months later, a more intensive check-in. Because we want to take life one barrel at a time. Because if we take life one barrel at a time, we're going to get to our destination. But it's also important, what we want to help you with is we want you to keep you in the gain and not the gap. See, what happens sometimes with these barrels of oil and you're coming up to them and you're doing life one barrel at a time is you can only focus sometimes on that barrel you're going towards and you forget about all the barrels you just passed. See, when we look backwards, we might have this whole trail of barrel after barrel after barrel because you came to the Teach Passion Summit the first year and you implemented 1 or 2 things. And now that's part of your life. And now you get this multiplication effect the next year and you implement 2 or 3 more things. And you're making life-changing movements. But you're still focused on this ideal. You're still focused on getting to the end of the desert. My friends, it's not about getting to the end of the desert. It's about getting to that next barrel. Let's stay in the gain mindset and not the gap mindset. We believe that if you come to Teach Passion Summit, your life will be changed. That's why we're doing it. But we believe it's not about those 2 days that will change your life. It's about the barrels of oil that we're going to set together. It's about taking this journey across the desert together. I can't wait to see you at the Teach Passion Summit. I can't wait to learn what the barrel of oil we're going to set for you is. And I can't wait to see you cross your desert.